On the last video we took a look at the Design tab. On this one we're going to take a look at the Layout tab. And the items on the Layout tab, we're going to skip over this Insert area here on the ribbon because that just lets you put a picture into your chart, which I don't think you can do very often. Do shapes or text box. Shapes just gives you all of the items here for drawing shapes. If you're doing this in a chart, my guess is that the thing you probably want to use most often might be lines, and have a line, pointing out something on the chart. But I don't want that on this particular chart, so we'll just undo that. And same thing with the text box. If you want to add a little bit of text, you can just draw a box any place here and type in the text that you want. And we don't want that either on this one. So what we're going to look at here is most of these buttons for adding items to your chart. First one here is chart title, and if you don't want chart title, which I think would not be a very smart thing to do, you can choose that. You can also put it on the chart itself, or I prefer to put it above the chart like this. Once you get the title there with the handles around it, you can type. You don't have to double click on this box here. All you have to do is go up to the formula bar up here and type whatever you want. So this is Big Ten football, and when you hit the enter key it automatically changes this. And if you want to do axis titles, which you probably should, now in this case we probably do not need one on the horizontal axis, but we'll put one there anyway. It's pretty obvious that these are the teams, and again just type it up here is probably the easiest way to do it. And we also want a vertical axis title, and we'll do a rotated one here. And again, just type it up here on the formula bar, and this is number of games. Legend, we can put it any place we want to. We've got over on the side, we can put it on the top, we can put it at the left, just about any place you want to. And once you do put it someplace, it doesn't have to stay precisely there. You can click on it and get the handles, and when you do, when you get your four-headed arrow here, you can click and you can reposition that any place that you want to. Data labels. It does allow you to put numbers on your charts. I don't think you're going to want to do that very often. I think all it does is kind of clutters up the chart. You can put numbers right on the centers of the bars here. You can put them on the end on the inside. You can put them on the end on the outside. But most of the time, I don't think you're going to want to use this. You can also add a data table if you want to. That simply puts your data down here at the bottom. And you can also put the legend key over here on the left. And again, this is an option I don't think you're going to use very often. The whole point of doing the chart in the first place is so people don't have to look at the numbers, but they can look at a picture instead. So we'll get rid of that. We've got some choices here for our axes. And if you want to reverse your axis, the labels on your axis for some reason, you can do this. It's probably not a big deal in this particular case, but sometimes you may have numbers in there, and usually you put numbers in ascending order across the bottom. If the data that you have happens to be in descending order, you might want to make that choice. We've got some choices here. If you get some really big numbers here, thousands or millions or billions, rather than showing all of those zeros, which is going to kind of clutter up your chart again, you can have it divide by 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 and just show you the whole numbers up there. We can also go in here and change our grid lines. By default you get major grid lines. That's what we've got right now. And you can also do minor grid lines. And in this case it's dividing each one up into 5 parts, which really doesn't make a whole lot of sense because we're talking about games played here. You can only have a whole number of games. And so we're going to go back to grid lines here, and we're going to go back to our major grid lines. We've also got some choices for the plot fill area. And actually, if you want to modify the plot fill area, the thing to do is to right click on it here and go with format plot area. And you've got a whole bunch of choices here. if you wanted to, you got to be careful with these though, because you end up making your chart look a lot worse. This is too dark, but you can adjust the transparency here, and it does do a live preview for you. So you can get the same color, but let a little bit more of the white background show through. There are some gradient fills. Most of them, the preset ones here, are not very good. They make it harder to read your chart instead of easier, although there are a few here. Daybreak, I think, is a good one. There's one here called Wheat, which also doesn't make your chart look worse. It actually kind of improves the contrast and the readability a little bit, I think. This one here might be a little bit dark on the bottom, and again, you can change the transparency on these, and I don't think that's going to do as much good on the bottom part here, though, is it? So be careful with these. Make sure you end up choosing something that actually makes your chart easier to read rather than harder. Some other choices here are, you've got a picture or texture fill. Most of these are pretty bad. Let's drag this over here a little bit and try it again. And those are the choices. If you pick one of these, what you're almost certainly going to want to do is probably increase the transparency and make it lighter, because most of these do not enhance the readability of your chart very much. There's also pattern fill here. I'm not sure you'd ever want to do that one. We're going to go back and go back to our gradient fill here, and we're going to go back to that preset one. And although you can choose any colors that you want to, notice down here you can select a color, but we're just going to go with the presets here and close that. And now I've got the background set for my chart, and that's probably a good place to stop for now.